Hi there, welcome back to Hobbs Farm. This is part 3. We've gone off on a bit of a tangent because we're going straight over to bucket loading, which is a funny one. I've partly done this because I'm interested in how it's going to work, because before you would, because of the way the silage planes, and the chaff planes for that matter, worked in bunkers, when you went in anywhere you would unload at the whole thing, whereas it's not going to work like that on here. So I may end up having to sort of go in here a couple of times and then clean up a bit, maybe get the or maybe just get the elevators in there. But I've decided to set up a bucket loading just because I can show you how it works. It should work. I know before it went straight to the centre, but things have changed, so I'm purposely going to go to one side and see if it goes back to the centre. But the idea should be there. I've got a trailer there which I'm going to unload into. I haven't set that up with a route yet, but that's going to be on grain transport mode, and I'm going to just take the silage back to the farm silo. The reason I haven't set that up with the route is that we can just see, I can adjust, because you use waiting points a lot on this, waiting point before it starts loading, at the end of the loading area, and then the unloading point has a waiting point as well, so there's a bit of extra movement. We can always adjust the trailer to make sure it's underneath the bucket properly, and hopefully that'll make for a nice smooth thing. This is one of the more funny ones to set up. It can be quite it can be interesting to say the least, but we'll see how we get on. So open up Courseplay, and we want to look for this mode here. Now you can do this a number of ways. I'm going to set up temporary loading positions. We should be roughly right, so we're going to do loading position that's something like that. Should be just a little off the ground, but you don't want it dragging on the floor, but you want it fairly low, so it picks up okay. So we'll try that. That's in transport position, so we'll scoop it and lift it a bit. Call that a transport position. Now I will temporarily do an unloading position, so we'll pop that there like that. We're going to be up a ramp, so we don't need to be quite so high. We may change these, but it's a pre-unloading position and an unloading position, so we've got that, and we would put stop and go loading. Here we go. This is the I think I realise how this is going to work now, because we've got a working width. Yeah, I realise now it's going to work similar to how the it looks to me like it's going to work similar to how the leveler goes from side to side and works that out. So I'm going to set this up on the centre. So I'm learning too here. And yeah, we'll see how this works. More or less central, so you don't have to be too far away. I'm going to see how this goes. It should be 3 waiting points, so I'm going to leave the bucket up there out the way, and we're going to start the course recording, and we drive forward to somewhere near the beginning of the chaff, and we put a waiting point. So the first waiting point tells it that's where the chaff starts. Now we're going to drive up. Hopefully we can go in a straight line. That'd be nice, it would help. You can do this when the bunker's empty actually as well. You can actually set this up beforehand, but so what we're going to do is drive to the end of the area. So I think my wheels will just have to come off the edge slightly, but not too much, because we've got to bear in mind where the bucket is. So this tells, yeah, I'm going to go a little bit more than that. Yeah, it should be alright. Put a waiting point there. Tell it to reverse. There we go. So hopefully that works smoothly. So I'm going to follow straight line back off the edge. Do this gently. Now, a little bit of line in, and I'm going to turn. Tell it to drive forward. I'm going to drive up the centre of here. And I'm going to stop just shy of the edge, because it's going to probably roll on a little bit. We can always adjust the bucket accordingly. Pop that there. Back into reverse. This time we're going to turn away like so. Take it off reverse. Now I'm going to try, actually no, I'm going to go forward very slightly, and then we're going to stop it there. I'm not going to save the course yet, because we're going to check out and see if it works. Immediately we hit a problem, because it's not fully loaded and it's not moving. Let me turn that guy off just in case he's actually telling him to stop. Yep, that's what it was. So I'll leave him in there. We've not got anything coming in right now. I just left him running to just to sort of move all the chaff up. So he's now going there. So it's not happy with its position. I've seen this before. I want to move the truck slightly further in. Let's try that. I might have to have a play around with this as to how I come into this, but not happy with that, so I'm going to stop it. And we're going to set up the tipping position actually. It's so that looked good. That's our unloading position. That's our pre-unloading position. So let's have another go. We'll always start from the beginning, this one. Won't start anywhere else, it won't just carry on, it always starts at the beginning. So we'll do it from the beginning again. BOT. So I'm going to leave the trailer there and record the route. So it's on driver transport mode. It's already got a course in. So start course recording. Drop trailer. Move over to the right a bit. Take it off the grass. So my challenge now is to set up, it's really that last part that's going to be the difficult bit, because it's a slightly awkward angle. If I can't get that angle, I can always rework the tipping positions to get that to work that way. So we're going to go into the left bunker. Now, I don't normally do this way, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this across here. So that it can refuel if need be. And then I've just I've just realised I don't need to do that, so I'm going to pause. This is another little tip for you. I just realised there's actually fuel further along the route I was going to use, so I don't need to do that, so I can just come straight down the back. So what I'm going to do is come back here, pause the route. Sit myself between them two markers. I can be slightly right at that one because I'm going to be going that side. And now we press delete. There's quite a few to delete. We'll start to see them coming towards us because there's a little stop marker that sits above each one. Here it comes. To there. Press the pause again, which unpauses it. And carry on this way. Just use the conventional route down the back of here. I took the wall away from the corner there so you don't have to be quite so worried about taking tight lines on that bit. And now we go up here. this fuel mark, the fuel goes right away across, so you can have the fuel come up. Stop driving on the grass, will you? So I'm thinking to drive this way. Got to the left, didn't I? So we'll call that deliver. So it's delivery routes D and F silos to farm left. Now I'm going to go get another vehicle and tell it to follow that route. Off a little bit. There we go. It's back in slightly behind the marker before you set it off, so it pulls forward into the marker. And clear this one. For delivery ones. Yeah, here we go, delivery F silo to farm left. Do that one. Select that, so there you go. I mean, that's all your courses, that's how you pick one. Select that. And tell it to drive course. You see the trailer, you can't see the truck because obviously the trailer's got a further clip distance than the truck does. So I'll get this. I'll let this unload, and then I'll tell this to drive now once this is tipped. See how that does. Ooh, that's tight. froze up there. I thought it was just auto-saving. One thing I did notice with the other two videos, there is a lot of pause juddering, which is actually to do with the video recording. And my game isn't doing that. The footage is occasionally less than spot on and stops and starts. The only time mine does that is when the game auto saves, which I have on because, you know, it's even a computer issue. You don't want you don't lose everything because you forgot to save for 2 hours. The occasional pause like that is worth it as far as I'm concerned. So this is the testing moment. If this actually tips into there, which it is doing, that's fantastic. The other thing I mentioned on the other video, I had a small bug. It's not transferred over. I was getting the tiniest tiny little bit of product. Tiniest little bit of product left in it, and because of that it wouldn't pull away from the unloading point, which is very annoying. What we're going to do here, speed is from recording, and I was obviously going a lot faster, but I can take that down, and it's got all the time in the world to do this because the other one's got to load down. So we'll take it all the way down at 20 miles an hour and then tell it to do from recording. So the interesting thing will be when the other one's going to stop. This will go when it gets somewhere, probably 90 up, because I mean each one's putting in not quite 6%. So it will get about 90% loaded, something like that, and then it'll go. Well, then it'll be interesting to see how the other one copes. I'm going to preempt it though. I'm going to let it load one more, and then I'm going to tell it to go. Actually, that's got time. I'm just going to tell it to go now. So, drive now. That did just fine. I thought for a minute he was going to drive by then. That's fantastic. So I'm going to do the same with this on the speed. So switch it back onto maximum speed. Drop it down to 20 miles an hour. There's absolutely no point in it racing round. Might as well just cruise. Back onto from recording. Away you go. I'm going to sort this out while I'm here. Well, my game, it did pause there. That is my game juddering for some reason. Mind you, I've got a lot of stuff. Got quite a bit of stuff going on. Yeah, there's something about one of the vehicles here, I don't know. But this clearly doesn't have the space to unload 100,000 litres, so we'll do that manually. I found these track vehicles are not too bad at doing this levelling. They're not as good as the larger vehicles, but they do the job okay. You want them to try and get up on top if they can, because they'll take that chaff across the top, fill in any holes along the way, and they're also doing a job of flattening down and compacting. That's the word I was looking for. This one's managing okay now, because we had 3 of those large class tractors doing this one. I've left it now with 2, which are loading from the same source, so there's a much more even gap between them now. I've seen it do that before. It usually sorts itself out, except that this time it's decided to do a wheelie. Oh no, it's still sorted itself out though. Might notice my version's only got 1 ramp. That's I'm playing around with those. Oh dear, oh dear. They do surprisingly well. They sort themselves out most of the time. That's what I like these particular vehicles. Anyway, going the wrong way. That's what we want. Seems to be happily continuing on. Right, brilliant. There you go. I would have carried on because I've started going off into other stuff and getting distracted, but yeah, there we go. That is how to set up. It's basically that's your BGA mode. It is fairly straightforward. You need, as I say, you need your waiting point before the chaff starts, the waiting point just after the chaff finishes, so that it doesn't think. That's what tells it when it's done at the end as well. When it gets to that point and it can't find any chaff, then it knows it's done. It'll be interesting to see how that works on the new mode, with it being wider. Before we would just go in a straight line, whereas now it's working its way round, and so it'll be interesting to see how it does to that. But nevertheless, that's how it works. It goes down until it gets to the end and hasn't found any silage, and then it knows it's done. The waiting, so yeah, waiting point at the beginning, waiting point at the end, and then you get the waiting point at your tip. And as I say, you can, if you set it up with a little bit of caution, you can always play around. If you've got ramps, you can do it that way. That seems to be working quite nicely, so I'm pleased with that. But yeah, great. I'll leave that one there, as I say, and let us know what you think. Any questions in the comments, and by all means like and share if you like. Thank you very much, and take care. Bye bye for now.